Hello, I'm Genie Espinosa. I'm an illustrator and a comic artist from Barcelona. I just want to talk to you about my career, basically, but very, very quickly. I've been a freelancer for the past 12, going to 13 years. And I actually started illustrating children's books, and I spent like 6 years doing that. The fact that I didn't finish my illustration degree willingly because I didn't really like it. I was in the headspace to do so. Created a lot of pressure on me, so I started overcompensating just by working a lot, like many hours every day. And I think it was to cover that lack of knowledge, I think, that I had. So that ended up of me getting really burnt out. So I had to rethink what to do, and what I thought was, I'm just going to give my CV to Starbucks because I can't really face working on this anymore. But what I actually did was starting to make comics. You can see here in the screen like two of my graphic novels. The Tiburón Blanco is The Great White. It's about this character going through a path of grief and how this transforms her life. But the first one I did, Hoops, was a Spanish publisher just called me saying, I like what you're seeing, what you're doing. Do you have an idea of something that we can do together? And I did have this idea, and Hoops blown out. Basically, is in a reality, it's like an utopia. In a reality where men doesn't exist, these three characters, high schoolers, they don't care, they are very happy about it, and they go after a class just to smoke a little bit of marijuana. And then they fall into a wormhole and they appear in another dimension where they get transformed, as you can see in that panel over there. So this comic was so well welcomed that all of a sudden I found myself from being behind a screen of a computer just all cranky and all dirty. Why, I'm not gonna say it. Just to be able to going to the hairdresser, getting dressed up, going to telly and to radio, and I won 2 awards because of that comic. The Best Emerging Artist in 2021 on the Comic Con in Barcelona, and the Best Comic of 2021 as well. So as you can see, I had just to pamper myself up. So it was really cool. It also got me to this exhibition in the CCCB of Barcelona, which is the Museum of Contemporary Art. And I was selected alongside 8 other female comic artists of the whole Spain to have this exhibition during 6 months of, it's like the best experimental comics that there was. So imagine, I was like blown away. And my exhibition had this part that was really cool, that was picked up from this comic I did for a newspaper, also exploring. My comics are not like square panels, like I like to talk about movement in a different kind of way. So in this case, there were these circles, were the panels of this comic. And in the exhibition, when you came out of this tube that will transform you, this was this inflatable, 3-meter inflatable waiting for you. So it was overlooking at you and telling you that, like, yeah, you can do it. You are powerful as well. So meanwhile, all these other things were happening. I was working with amazing companies doing great projects with Coca-Cola, with Amazon. I did a Google Doodle. But it was always something that is being a little bit annoying in my back, like making me feel a little bit of weight. And it's the imposter syndrome. And I'm sure you all or almost all can relate to that. It's like feeling so small, and it's like the constant exposure that you get and so many beautiful and amazing artwork in your fingertips constantly. And I felt really lost, and I think my mental health took a hard blow on that. So I think that's why I draw these big characters, because I think for me they act like pillars, because they don't move and they stand there and they tell you that you belong with them too. So when mental health is really bad for me, I think this imposter syndrome finds spots and ways to move around and really go big as well. And I found out that the only way I can cope with it is continue working. So when I illustrate either for clients or for pure experimentation, I like to explore feelings that are not usually or conventionally just put over there. I'll talk about my concerns, and I talk about this, not very well said, but weaknesses, and I try to normalize them. I think about the beauty of being honest and transparent with my communication. It can really reach to anybody who is looking at my artwork. And I really like to make the ordinary the main point, and I also like to validate all these emotions. It's such a joy for me when I have this call of a client and they ask me to illustrate an article and an editorial, and when it really resonates with me, and I can just go and dig in and then explore the topic and then add some layers that maybe you can see at the first round that you see, but if, for example, the article talks about why I don't feel like why my partner doesn't give me any pleasure, and then you put like a little bit of a sad face in an underpant, I think it's like something really cute that maybe you can't see at the first glance, but then it's there. I think everything adds a little bit of layers and adds some richness, and also exploration leads me to try fonts or drawing, typography, which is one of my favorite things to do, and I think any graphic designer can kill me because of the reason of the things that I'm saying, but I think it really adds something extra to my illustrations, and it's something that I really, really like to do. Another of my favorite things is being able to draw powerful, not objectified, and non-normative women. Women that belong and occupy a space and are not sorry or asking permission to do it. I think that working like this and drawing them helps me to create a safe space where I feel I belong with them too, and I can be calm, and I can be relaxed, and I hope that the person who is looking at my work can feel the same thing too. In moments of struggle with imposter syndrome and loads of anxiety, I can feel I belong there and I'm protected and safe because they are kind of guarding me in a way. These women that I draw don't always have to be very energetic or dynamic. They can just be taking a rest or hoping for something new and better to come, or just be very soft and cuddly and just be like very round and breastfeeding the new baby. Also, when I find myself in the spiral of dark thoughts, I think I need to stop and really be honest. I just can't do things without just speaking what's happening, because I think I need the client or the person who is seeing my work to really understand what's happening. And I like to talk about the insecurities and let them exist so they are real. And I think I won't be able to choose something else that is not being honest, so I wouldn't take any jobs that don't go with what I think or I don't agree with. Like I wouldn't do something that I'm not happy about. I think this honesty is what really makes really important what I do to me. And also in my work, there's always some kind of feistiness, so the characters can be naughty, but always like having a little bit of fun. They are characters that speak the truth, but at the same time, they won't hesitate to grab your hand and take you out of the comfort zone, just little by little. So it gives you a little bit of comfort. So it's great. I think it's great to connect with projects that speak my language. And fortunately, I also have a team of agents that are amazing, that are here as well. I don't know where. That will give me support when I just go, oh, I'm really, really struggling. And they help me to move forward in rough times, which I think it's like I'm very fortunate. And yeah, I do really, because sometimes, I dream about seeing all my work in huge, massive windows and getting this super sporty clothes, like very, very cool. And I like to connect with the client in a deeper level. That is not just something aesthetic or something like a flat layer of it. And so I want them to be trustful and contact me to do some chunky characters that have a little bit of attitude for them. So I don't think I have like a checklist of things that I would like to do, because I learned after these 13 years that the best thing of this job is always about to come in the next email. So it's like a great surprise every time. Well, I think in rough times it's also very important to be honest and communicate it. To me, illustration is communication. It's the only thing it's important about, just connections, create links and connections. And sometimes because of that and the overworking and the burnout, I stop myself a bit, and also the imposter syndrome sometimes has punched me really, really hard in the face. So I had to stop and take a little bit of a breather. And I try to relax, but at the same time, it's not how I am. And after therapy, doing some therapy, I found out that it's not the way I work. So I think I will sometimes have a little bit of a rest, but it's better if I say that it's better if when you find yourself in a situation that you are struggling, it's better just to be honest and communicate, because being ourselves and just pour everything that we have in is what really makes us really unique, and I think that is what really is about, and it's our real superpower. That's it. Thank you so much.